I hope you are all doing amazing. I wanted to talk today about a subject that's been on my mind for a while now. It's this concept of banishing. And what is banishing? And how is it different than cursing and hexing? You'll have to forgive me. I do love a good vape every now and then. But I want to talk today about banishing and when should banishing be done and when should cursing and hexing be done. There is a lot of talk around the concept of cursing and hexing, and we all know that there are people who have their opinions that harm none, do what you will, and well, you can't do that, that goes against whatever, or I don't do that, so you shouldn't do that, and so on and so forth. But we're not here to talk about that. A curse and a hex, and even banishing, isn't to be taken lightly, because all three of them are designed to get rid of something out of your life. First of all, never ever do magic on your family. And this is just my opinion. I mean, you're going to do whatever you're going to do at the end of the day. If you've got that sister and you think she's a raging bitch and you want to get rid of her and you want to curse her, do whatever you want. But just know that she's still going to come around to family gatherings and stuff, but you might hear about how her life is turning to shit and realize that you're the culprit behind it. And at first it might give you that sensation of, thank God. Now maybe you'll get off your pedestal, but at the same time, you might start to feel bad. And that's not a bad thing to feel bad about something you've done, but it affects the family. It doesn't just affect the sister who's a raging bitch, it affects the whole family. So just be careful with what you're doing. That's all I'm going to say on that. However, banishing is meant to banish something. Okay, you are getting it the fuck out. And a lot of Wiccans, my understanding, and if you are a fellow Wiccan and you do not believe this way, or if what I'm saying is wrong, please, by all means, comment down below. My understanding is that a lot of Wiccans use banishing not as a curse or a hex, but to remove that negative element, whether it's a person, a feeling, a spirit, or whatever. They banish it. They say, nope, not here, not anymore, goodbye. With witches and people who are not of the Wiccan path, they will curse or hex. To curse something is to harm them, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't assume that I'm saying this is wrong. But it's not to harm them in the physical sense, it's to harm them in the psychic sense, whatever, all the same word to me. A curse on somebody can have long-lasting repercussions, whereas a banishment makes that person or that thing or whatever not come around anymore, not interact with you, not engage with you. A hex can do the same thing. All three of them are basically, as I've said before, the exact same thing. They're just different degrees and variations of how you do them that can affect the person either lightly or greatly. The most common form of a curse or hex, more of a banishing, is hot foot powder. Hot foot powder is designed to get someone the fuck out now. You place it down in the path of where they will walk, whether it's on their doorstep or by their door or on their walk path or by their office chair or whatever, and it gets them the fuck out. That's the intention that you put behind it, is get the fuck out and get the fuck out now. That's why a lot of the times when I make this type of dust for the meth heads or the crack heads, who don't end up coming around for 6-7 months and almost get evicted from their place, I call it my get the fuck out dust. When you banish something, as I already stated, the intention is to get rid of it. That's the same thing with a curse. Get rid of it. Teach it a lesson. Same with a hex. Teach it a lesson. Some people have stated that curses are longer than hexes. Hexes are kind of like a slap in the face. Banishing is like pushing it away. And a curse is kind of like, this is going to be with you for a very long time. I'll give you an example of a curse that I recently did. And it's not anybody that you guys know, so you don't have to worry about that. There's no drama here with anybody online. But I did a curse on a person, and I wanted their demons, their inner demons, their darkness, to consume them, to affect them, to drive them away, to make them become consumed, poisoned, embittered, and angry and miserable and just hateful and hate-filled. And I also wanted them to look in the mirror and see just what a disgusting, despicable, despisable, horrible human being they really are. And it's working. That's all I'll say on that, is it's working. And again, I will stipulate, this isn't anybody that anyone here on YouTube knows. I'm not doing this on anybody on YouTube because I don't believe in cursing or hexing over the internet. Banishing is a different thing. I don't want you in my life. I don't want you talking about me. I don't want you thinking about me. You know, I've done that on a few people, and it's worked miraculously. But a curse is something that I believe will stick with the person for a very long time. And that's what I want. And I work it. And you work it over and over again. And you work it, and you work it, and you work it, and you can feel that energy going into it, and you call on your spirits or your deities, and you know that shit is getting real. You know in your heart of hearts that this person is fucked up. A hex is like a slap in the face. Lose your job, lose your house, get sick, fall down a flight of stairs. That's like a hex to me. That's what a hex is. It's a short, quick thing. A curse is a longer lasting, you're working it over and over and over again. You want that person to suffer. With a banishing, it's also like a hex. You're doing it a one-time thing, and you're saying, you're done. You're done. Bye. Out. Go away. You can do the same thing with a hex, but hexes are more meant to teach a lesson. Banishing is more meant to get the fuck out. Cursing is more like, I want you to suffer for a long, long time. The other thing is a binding. Now, we've seen this in popular TV shows like Charmed, for example, where they will, there was an episode where there was I think it was a fire starter. Yeah, it was a fire starter. So he was in a group home, no, he was in a foster home, and he had a power that he couldn't control. He would light things on fire. He would get really, really angry, and all of a sudden the couch or the bed would light on fire. So Piper was trying to show him that you can control your power. So she blew up this vase and then froze it. Now, I'm ruining this episode for anybody who hasn't seen Charmed, and I apologize for that. But she blew up this thing, and her entire intention was to show him that you can control your power. But he didn't want that. He wanted to live his life without magic, normally. So she whipped up a potion and bound his powers. Now, a binding is almost the same as a banishing, but you're not necessarily getting rid of the person. You are binding them to something, or you are binding them from doing something. Now, when you bind somebody to something, I consider that like a curse. For example, there are ways to bind somebody to a particular spirit or entity that will be with them, no matter what they try and do. They are bound to it unless they break that binding spell. And when you do that, I consider that more of a curse. When you bind somebody from talking shit about you, which I've done a few times, or when you bind somebody from interacting with you, so you bind them to keep them at a distance, or you bind them so that they can't hurt other people with their actions or their words, that I consider to be more of a one-time thing, like a banishing or a hex, but it's not like you're not getting rid of them per se, you're just saying, you will not do this anymore. You will not talk this shit no more. You will not hurt this person no more. Okay, now I know a lot of witches will turn into a curse on that type of person, or a hex, or they might banish that person from their life. But they might be going through something, and they're not a bad person per se, they're just having a really shitty time with something, and instead of dealing with it appropriately, they are taking it out on people. So instead of getting rid of that person from their life, they might bind them. They might say, no, you're done with this, stop this madness, look in a mirror, you are bound to a mirror to look into it until you change your ways. I mean, I've done that before. Okay. So the purpose of this video was to explain the difference between banishing, binding, cursing, and hexing, and of course these are my opinions based off of my practice and my own research and just my experiences, and of course my craft is more intuitive. Now, your experiences and your opinions may differ, so let's share them down below. What do you think a binding, a banishing, a curse, or a hex is? I would love to know, okay? Also remember to hit that subscribe button and the like button. And when you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that when I put up a new video, you are the first to know. You are the one who gets to know that, hey, he put up a new video and I really want to check this out because I like this person. And until next time, my fabulous little creatures, I hope to talk to you soon and I hope to do more videos. Currently, in my own personal life, I'm going through a few different things that I don't really want to get into at this particular point in time, so it might be a little bit in between videos, but don't worry, I'll be back. I'm always here. Always feel free to leave comments. Always feel free to reach out on Facebook and send messages. I respond to everything. I love interacting with you guys and engaging with you guys. I think it's amazing, and I love seeing the community come together, and I love seeing people interact and have opinions and thoughts and video responses, and that's the best part of this YouTube experience for me, is forming friendships and interacting with new people and getting different opinions on different things. Okay? So until next time, my fabulous little creatures, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned.